Tampons and pads are products needed by women around the world, but there are millions of women who just can't afford to buy them. In many parts of the world, including here in Canada, a lack of menstrual hygiene products is a major problem for women and girls. It keeps them out of school, it keeps them at home, and it keeps them isolated. Well, now there's a group working to help to get those products to people who are struggling financially. Joining us in studio is Jacline Nyman. She's the president and CEO of United Way Centraide Canada. Good to have you here this morning.
Good morning.
Listen, this is not a topic we talk a lot about in broadcast circles and on the air, but it is an important one. We recently learned about the isolation that can happen globally to young girls who don't have access to these products, some of the health concerns, but shocking to know that it happens here in our very own country. I wanted to share some stats with our viewers. These are from the Canadian Women's Foundation. 1.5 million women live on a low income. 21% of single mothers are raising their children in poverty. 37% of First Nations women living on our reserves are living in poverty. And that means items that typically we would see as regularly stored under the bathroom sink in our bathrooms may not be there in some households.
That's right.
So how will this help? How will Tampon Tuesday help?
So we're raising awareness. We're raising awareness through events right across the country. United Way functions in over 5,000 communities across the country, and we're working on at least a couple of dozen today who are holding events to raise awareness. And actually, the cost of admission to all of the events is a box of product. So we're not only raising awareness, we're actually loading up those sinks with product.
So then where does it go? How is it distributed?
What we do is we collect them. In fact, in BC today, they've got the local transit transporting it from our events to local food banks, shelters, crisis centers to make sure it gets right into the hands of the women who need it.
There is also a political move underway to help have some of these perhaps funded by the government, to have this seen as a health care necessity for women.
Absolutely. Women shouldn't have to choose between buying milk and bread for their children and buying basic need products. This is about dignity. It's about respect. This is a bodily function for half of the women for half of their life. For half of the population, women, for half of their lives. This is a basic need. And so if we could succeed at that, it'd be tremendous support for those who can't afford it.
Is it because it has to do with menstrual cycles that people haven't talked about it before, that there is such a great need?
I think so. I think that, these terms they bring on shame for some people. They bring on curiosity for others. Mostly they're just things that we don't talk about. And so I think just bringing it out of the closet, from under the sink and into common language, it's a basic need. We wouldn't expect babies to go without diapers. We wouldn't expect people to live without toilet paper. Tampons, menstrual products, they're a necessity.
When you talk about it out loud, it makes so much sense, and it's good to know that the need is there and how we can help. Thanks for being here this morning.
My pleasure. Thanks so much.
All right, if you would like more information on Tampon Tuesday, you'll find that on our website at yourmorning.ca.